Okay, so now that we've got the machine group all set up, what we're ready to do to this part essentially is we want to get this hole in the center of it. Right now it's a solid round ingot or whatever you might want to call it, billet. We want to get a pilot hole through the center of it, so we're going to center drill and drill a pilot hole in this video. And then once we get the pilot hole in there, then we'll come back in with our boring tools and we'll cut the contours in the inside of the part. So let's go ahead and get started on that now. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to my top view and kind of fit this to my screen here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually make a new level, level 4, and I'm going to call this my turning profile. Honestly, it'd be boring. We might call it boring profile because we're going to basically be doing the ID. And I'm going to select my solid, wireframe, turn profile, and in this case I'm just going to create an upper profile. And then I can shut my solid off, and there it is. Okay, so that's what we're going to work with. Now we can go back to our toolpaths. Go to our toolpath manager here, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to center drill using just the center drill. So we'll go up and select drill. I'll leave the NC name defaulted. And then let's go select the library tool and let's use a 1/2 inch center drill. There's one right there. Okay, so I'm going to pick out a 1/2 inch center drill and just use that tool. Okay. For the feed rates and stuff, we'll just leave those at their defaults. My max spindle speed, like I said, we're going to slow that down to whatever we want the max to be. A very subjective decision you have to make there based on how much of the part you're holding on to and how much is sticking out of the chuck. We definitely want to turn on our coolant. And we're going to give this comment here. Center drill for pilot hole. Okay. We'll go to our simple drill here. We're drilling on center. And then, you'd have to select the depth. I'm going to tell it an absolute depth. And then I'm going to calculate I want like a 0.25 diameter there. Okay. Now we would have to know like what would the tip of the center drill, because we'd have to add that to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tell it to go negative 100 thou. Okay, and I think the center drill actually is 125 thou. If you look at your little machinist reference guide, it's 125 thou tip length. And then I'm going to tell it to go an extra using my Actually, I'm just going to add it to this. I'm going to go an extra 50 thou past the tip. Okay. There you see the center drill, and it's not even getting to the bigger diameter yet, so I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit deeper. Let's just tell it, let's go 1/4 inch and see what we get. There we go. Just starting on the larger diameter of the center drill, so that should be good. Okay. Now that we've got that, we can go ahead and do the same thing, only we're going to drill the pilot hole through the part. So another drill tool path. And this time, let's go get a 3/4 inch drill. So there's a 0.75 drill right here. Let's select it. Okay. We would set our feed rate, whatever our feed per rev would be. So it's probably like 8 thou for that tool. Whatever our cut speed would be, so it'd be like 250. Okay. Notice this is set to RPM. So if we wanted to, we could sit here and we could tell it, hey, that needs to be 250 times 3.82 divided by 0.75. So 1273 is what we'd set our RPM to. So I'm just going to make it 1270. Static RPM. Same thing, I want my coolant on. And then we'll tell it drill pilot hole through part. We'll go to our simple drill, no peck. Okay, and basically what that basically means is I can come over here and I am going to turn on peck drill. Okay, this is a full retract. That means it's going to come all the way out of the hole each time. Well, do I want that, or do I just want a chip break? Okay, I've got to decide what I need there. Now for this part being 3 inches, we're going to be pretty deep into there. So we're going to come all the way out of the hole each time. The depth we're going to is the end of the part here, so -3 inches. And I'm going to tell it that I want 50 thou of the breakthrough. Now, we're getting ready to find out if this tool's set up long enough. Yep, looks like we did. Okay, so what I was worried about there was if this tool itself, let's see, it says it's 4 inches on the cut length. Okay, so that's why we didn't have any problems. You know, I just wanted to make sure that we were good there. But there you see the through hole going through the part. And now that we've got a pilot, now we can actually tell it, okay, we're going to rough and finish this ID next. Okay, so that's what we'll do in the next video. See you there.